What's up, Facebook peoples? I'm a little under the weather right now. They got me beat down, but I'm doing all right. A couple mud. I just want to say that, see this New York, the Bronx court, they want me to be a criminal. They tried to turn me into criminal, and they tried to turn me into the person who they claim I am, so they could say, see, he's a criminal, but there's nothing criminal about me at all. Yeah, I was born and I lived in the Bronx, and I ain't gotta be like everybody else. I don't mix oranges and apples. What other people do, that's what they do. Whatever I do, I am held accountable for what I do. I shouldn't be held accountable for what other people do. Like, and there's a lot, and it's something that you're supposed to protect a child, and youthful offender treatment. Records, seal their records. So my records ain't sealed, it's bust wide open because you discriminated on me. You exploited and manipulated my situation to have a monopoly of charges and to overcharge me and send me to jail for a longer duration of incarceration. Now, the thing is, like, I had a bike, right? Police wouldn't give me my bike back unless I showed them the original title to the bike. They didn't want a copy. All right, but then I had to, make my argument that the receipts and everything is good for because I brought it. Your receipts, in my case, is not good. Your receipts, you lack subject matter jurisdiction, which is nothing because I'm black, right? Well, that's cool. I don't need nothing. So there goes. You perpetuated my mental illness. Not only did you perpetuate my mental illness by there's no reasonable accommodation under the American Disability Act applied to me. So black life right here doesn't matter. And, yeah, you discriminated against me because I can't do nothing but, you know what I'm saying? I'm already, all right, ladies didn't give me any time of day. I don't have no children. Ladies don't give me love. They don't play their position for me. They're not in my life. So, okay, cool. All right, I can get over that reality. What sent me to jail is that I was abused as a child coming up. And the projects is rough. But I get past all that. And the government still kicked me down after that. But, I was bruised, spit on, thrown in jail for things I couldn't do, illegal convictions, without probable cause and reasonable suspicion. You treated me different than you treated anybody else because in the case law, like the police pulled me over when I was 18 years old driving Ford EXP, which was registered, license registration. I worked for it, didn't rob for it, didn't sell no crack for it, didn't do nothing but work and save my money as a hard young man. And this is what I get. This is how you repay me back. So, you know what I'm saying? So he says that I had a gun in my car. He searched my car, finds no gun. Now he's wanting me to walk a straight line. Then he take me to the precinct, give me a breathalyzer test saying that I'm 1 point away from being intoxicated. All right, now probable cause on that issue right there is basically that anonymous tip from anonymous person that a person have a gun in his car is not reasonable suspicion or probable cause to stop and frisk somebody. All right, that's the law. But you didn't follow the law because I'm black. It doesn't matter. I don't need nothing. So, so what ensues, every action causes a reaction. So now the lawyer says, do you want to pay a $250 fine or spend 15 days in jail? He didn't tell me nothing about, that they don't have no probable cause. They convict their evidence is flawed because, fruit from the poisonous tree or whatever. Now they charged me with DWI because they said I was 1 point away. Now, I don't want to go to jail, so he scared me. Because I ain't, a black brother coming out, uneducated, the system is broken, crackers on the street, AIDS is on the street, everything. And that's what they pushed me into. That's the point that made me snap and kill. That right there made me snap and kill. And I don't deserve that. And anybody else under those circumstances, they get way less time. The government discriminate on me. They get way less time for the same act. You know what I'm saying? And they caused me to do that. Now, the thing is that, all right, a guy was on, these guys was on, I know these guys, but, you know, they was explaining their case to me, and I did my own research on that subject. They was on a Port Authority, and the police said, you can't be here, ain't no loitering. So they take them and arrest them. During the arrest procedure, as they searched them and everything, they find stolen credit cards in their pockets and everything. They was doing the credit card thing. So now the judge makes a ruling in the case. He says that you cannot stop and frisk him or arrest him for being at the Port Authority because that's a public place. So, you know, they try to get them because they're black. And then they charge them with the credit card. Guess what had to get dismissed? The fact that they was loitering was dismissed. And it was, because it was a public place. So, from the fruit of the poisonous tree. Likewise, whatever you do to the denominator, you got to do, whatever you do to the numerator, you got to do to the denominator in this situation. And that was the law at the time. So, I just say that because laws could change. I don't think it changed, but they had to throw out the credit cards. They dismissed that because they had no reason to stop and frisk them in the first place because they was in a public place. You know what I mean? Even though they were doing something that was illegal, but being there is not illegal, but being there with like cocaine or a bomb or a gun or something like that, that might be illegal, but just being there is not illegal. Now, that's why they dismissed it. And in my case, too, first of all, it's not probable cause. Just like in his case, it's not probable cause. But you blemish my record and you messed up my life. But it doesn't matter. Fuck America. Fuck New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that. And I don't care. And the ladies don't date me, whatever. I don't care about none of that. Y'all messed up my life. Y'all messed up my legs, sent me in jail, and destroyed me. And now you're going to try to ignore the facts on that. All right, I guess that's what I want to say. Oh, the fact that you don't have no jurisdiction because, all right, it was a murder charge. They abused me to the ambit that I snapped and committed murder because I was shocked. They shocked my conscience. I'm a youth. A grown man does the same thing, and they get off. But you're expecting a child to actually withstand that pain. And it wasn't nothing intentional. I'm working, I'm exhausted, working, not doing no crime, and then you push me out into the street. Somehow I got pushed out into the street, you know, like with the forced arrests. You forcibly arrested me at the age of 14, too, for robbing Burger King. I mean, my peers is making babies and getting money and doing a whole lot of other stuff, getting over. So now, I was working at Burger King on 33rd Street, I think at 3rd Avenue in Manhattan, which is like about 4 or 5 miles away. So I lived in the Bronx. Now, I go on my day off with my friends. We're going to play basketball. And my friend had a bag of weed. He wanted me to hold his bag of weed. It was like a little bit left because he didn't have no pockets in his shorts. So he had on a Julius Irvins and shit. Back in the day, Julius Irvins, no pockets. So, all right, so I hold the weed. It's only a little bit of weed anyway. Shit is legalized. So now, I tell him I'm going to invite you to eat. I invited him to eat some cheeseburgers. I was going to pay for it. I paid for it. We ate on 3rd Avenue, 149th Street, on Cortland Avenue, the Burger King over there. Yeah, it was a Burger King over there. Social Security building right around the corner over there. So we was in that area. We was going to go play basketball after that. And then we was going to drink some beers and drink a couple of beers or whatever. And they smoked marijuana. At the time, I didn't smoke marijuana. So we walks out the Burger King after we get the double cheeseburger 99 specials. That's why I treated them. So excuse, excuse me. So the police rolls up on us when we leave the spot. Somebody points me out from a detective car, whatever. Now, as we was on the wall with our hands up with guns pointed at us, so they takes me and put me in another police car, and they said that somebody pointed you out for robbing Burger King. You robbed Burger King for $700. The Burger King that I just put money into their pocket and ate at. Now, I worked at another Burger King miles away, like about 5 miles away downtown, and I was at work on camera at the time. The punch clock thing, I had my time clock, my time card punch, and I had witnesses to witness that I was at work that day who testified me at the grand jury. So you put me through this nightmare as a 14-year-old child. Once I get nothing, it's like, all right, we got the wrong nigga, and they let me go after going to the going through the trials and tribulation of a grand jury. So I beast them, but still in awe. You know what I'm saying? What, you think that was fun? And it's like the same thing they did to me as a child. They doing the same stuff to me now. And they messed up my legs and all that, being incarcerated and all that. So I didn't get paid for that. People that sued, people that got falsely arrested sued. I tried to sue. The white lawyer told me that if I try to sue, they're going to bring back the case. Bring back what case? I was at work at the time. How the fuck they gonna bring that back? But I don't need nothing. Fuck America. I don't need nothing. And listen, I'm still fucking mentally messed up. And it's not whether or not it gets me to the point of me committing the act, because I did it once. So, you know, but I was a child. I didn't have the life experience. My brain wasn't fully developed at the age of 14. You know what I mean? To know, you know, what to do or whatever. And they might say ignorance is no excuse for the law. So, you know, fuck that. I didn't get nothing. Other people get ahead more than me. I'm still slumped back. You know what I'm saying? Broke, poor, after 31 years. But, you know, and that's basically it. And as far as the charge, as far as what you caused me to snap, black out, and do, I beat them on murder. The jury know that, no, this guy wasn't no malicious killer. He just snapped. But the district attorney and the white judge who guided the district attorney to overcharge me, you know, wanted to overcharge me. And the judge know that. Once the judge know that the facts of the case, he must charge me appropriately. Now, but they didn't do that. What they did was after I beat them on murder charge, the murder charge got dismissed at the grand jury. So they went and got another a counterfactual murder charge, depraved indifference, which is used in instances like when, let's say a police steals a gun out the locker, sells the guns or whatever, somebody uses that gun. Now, because he was being corrupt at the time by stealing a gun from the locker and going and selling it, now somebody use it, they kill somebody, they charge him with murder, depraved indifference murder. Since he's going to argue that he didn't shoot nobody, he didn't kill nobody, why am I being charged with on a murder level like me? But my situation different. But now, the law, that's a strict liability charge. And when it comes to strict liability charge, that's like a felony murder. Those charges like felony murders, but this is not a felony murder. It's a straight murder charge. So, but it's strict liability. That means that you could be responsible for the result regardless of your fault or your act. So that means you could be charged with murder regardless of the fact you haven't killed nobody. In those cases, it's like where they use the murder charge like on attempted crimes, like if you attempted murder. And they be like, why am I being charged with attempted murder when I haven't killed nobody, but they tried to kill somebody, so they charge them with the attempt. Maybe they shot somebody 3 times in a vital area, and that person survived, so they can't charge them with murder because that person didn't expire. So they charge them with felony. They charge them with attempt. Now, felony murder, when they charge you with felony murder, let's say the police is chasing somebody down the street, and in the midst of them chasing them, The guy shoots at the police. The police shoot back, and the police bullet hits a innocent bystander and kills them. Now, or so injured them. Now, that person could be charged. The person that, whatever that committed the crime, like maybe he robbed Burger King, like they charged me with. Maybe he robbed Burger King, right? And he ran. Police, he shot at the police shot back, hit a innocent bystander. The bystander dies and passes away. This person could be charged with that murder that the police committed by accident or whatever, trying to shoot him. It was transferred intent. That's what they call transferred intent. Like his intention was to shoot him, but he shot somebody else that had nothing to do with it. Now, the person that robbed Burger will be charged with a felony murder. That's felony murder. Whereas, even though you didn't kill nobody, the officer killed them, you still being charged with that murder. And if the police get injured or break a leg in the midst of the commission of the crime, that person could be charged with that assault on an officer, even though he didn't physically assault that officer. But the officer got injured by running. Those are called felony murders. Now, they charged me with a felony murder for an act that I snapped, blacked out, and I killed somebody with a knife by stabbing them. In the time of AIDS, you exposed me to AIDS. I felt I didn't deserve that. I was being bullied in the project. I was being neglected. I mean, Bruce of child abuse. I almost got raped, thrown in jail for things I didn't do. Twice with the DWI and with the Burger King incident. So as a child growing up, I snapped. You know, that's what ensued. And now I beat them on intentional murder. Intentional murder means you intentionally killed somebody. And that's another argument is that, listen, man, if I'm going to be a criminal, let me be a criminal on my own accord. Don't cause me to snap, black out, and lose it. You know what I mean? And then kill somebody. Like accidental. Like if I'm going to be a criminal, let me do my Frank Sinatra. Let me do it my way with the intentions. Not no stuff like that. So that is cold what they did to me. So I beat them on intentional murder because the jury know, even if a person lies or whatever, the jury know by listening to the evidence, yeah, he didn't intend to do this. He snapped black out. But the judge had a monopoly of charges along with the district attorney. So the judge was biased. He was definitely biased. Not even biased towards the district attorney, but just biased towards putting a black person in jail. Should I step the status of a nigga? I think yes. I think the crackers they whipped on me real good along with my community that didn't, you know, that, come on, my community abused me. And not only that, I'm getting robbed in a project. I got robbed of a radio. I got robbed of $250, a jacket, this, that, and the third. And while I'm being thrown in jail for a robbery that I didn't commit, that person is still out there robbing, making babies. And ladies rejected me because I was soft or whatever. So, you know, so the way I feel like fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Why should I feel any other way? Now, I mean, like, fuck New York, fuck the government, fuck all this shit. That's what the fuck it. Don't try to motherfucking be a lawyer on my situation. Like, well, yeah, fuck all that. It is what it is. So now, right, they brings in, after that charge is dismissed, they brings in another depraved indifference charge, murder charge, which is what I was explaining, like from the locker, the police stealing the gun, he could be charged with. You have to prove intent, that this person intentionally killed this person. Not no felony charge, not no strict liability, none of that. You cannot place a strict liability. That's railroaded me to jail automatically, and I did 31 years on that. But ain't no lawyers want to help me. That's why I'm definitely like, fuck New York. I don't give a fuck. And everybody else do what the fuck they want to do, and they get less time. And here I was working at D'Agostino's at the time doing deliveries. At least I was healthy. You send me back to jail. Now I definitely can't work. But what happened was somehow the district attorneys was dissatisfied with the grand jury results. And So they submitted all the evidence to the grand jury and everything. Now the grand jury bring back the true bill. Instead of the grand jury filing that true bill with the court, which is they're required to do under CPL 170. Yeah, that's CPL I think it's 170 subdivision 3, 1 to 3. That whole subdivision. In order for them to resubmit charges to the grand jury, they have to file that with the court and request from the judge to resubmit the evidence. And the only reason they could resubmit the evidence is if there's new complaint evidence that wasn't available at the time of the arrest and at the time that the grand jury was commenced. Yeah, the judge, if the evidence is like maybe they overlooked some fingerprints, maybe they found the weapon after prior, you know what I'm saying? Belated, they found the belated weapon, the evidence is belated. So now they submit that to the judge and they tell him, listen, we found the gun, fingerprints, we found the video recording of him committing the act, which wasn't available at the time that we commenced the grand jury proceedings and everything. So the judge had granted them. But you can't, the district attorney went upon her own accord and resubmitted another charge, which is double jeopardy. And they don't have jurisdiction to do so. Because once murder is dismissed, you can never bring murder back. Now you enhancing the possibility or that I be charged and convicted of murder when I already beat murder. So it's like they not only doing it once, they're doing it twice, so I'm being charged with a depraved indifference. Now in the courts in New York State, depraved indifference, they had a law called with the Court of Appeals called the twin indictment. That means they charge people with intentional murder and the same depraved indifference murder with the police locker. So now a person at trial beats the intentional murder and he get convicted of depraved indifference murder. Now, the courts was reversing all these cases saying that a one-on-one killing with a weapon, such as a knife, gun, hammer, bat, whatever, a car, whatever, if it's intentional, whatever, is that it cannot be used for depraved indifference. It can only be used for intentional murder, and it's intentional. A killing with a weapon is only intentional. It can never be an accident or depraved indifference or by stealing a gun out the locker and selling it to somebody so you made a mistake. You didn't know they was going to kill somebody. But what you going to put a gun out on the street if they're not going to kill them and use it? Anyway, so they dismissing these cases, case after case. But they called it a floodgate. So, and Bill Clinton also changed the law, whereas you got a year to file a federal habeas corpus. Like before, you had unlimited time to file a federal habeas corpus. So, Mr. Clinton, thank you, my brother. People said that's his brother because he smoked weed. Yeah, I could tell he's your brother and shit. A cool brother, right? Yeah. Every brother ain't a brother or some shit. All right, so every sister ain't a sister neither. So the thing is, all right, these cases getting dismissed, but they said it's a floodgate. That means there'll be too many convictions overturned, murder convictions overturned because of that error. Now, they deny me. They saying that it's not retroactive. It's automatic. Retroactivity in a case is when they create new law. It's like, let's say, they changed the age from, like the minimum wage. They changed the minimum wage from $7 to $18, but they run it retroactive. Because if it's unconstitutional, let's say they rule it unconstitutional. That is unconstitutional to do a certain thing in the law. So if it's unconstitutional, that means it's automatically applied to the principles of retroactivity, because they cannot let those convictions stand under on unconstitutional grounds. So it's automatically applied. In my case, by them charging me by them charging me with an unconstitutional charge, it's automatically applied to the principles of retroactivity because it violated well-established constitutional and statutory law at the time of the conviction, when the conviction was passed down. So now, if you change the law, right? Let's say, basically, that depraved indifference charge, you know what I'm saying? What they did to me, it applies to the principle of retroactivity because it violates well-established constitutional and statutory law that existed at the time of the conviction. Because you cannot ignore the person's mental state. When they dismiss intent, it's dismissed. That means the evidence is negated. Whenever you negate the element of intent, that means you didn't do it maliciously. And everybody, you know, in their cases, they get less time and they get a lesser charge of manslaughter. Manslaughter is not a murder charge, but manslaughter means that you shot a gun up in the air and they killed somebody, but it wasn't your intentions to kill him. Like a man might be fighting somebody, he punches them in the head while they're fighting and he dies. So he could be charged with he could charge with assault, which resulted in the death of somebody else, but not intentionally resulting in the death. See, intentional murder is intentionally resulting in the death of somebody else because you intended to kill that person. But pushing somebody to the point that they snapped, blacked out, and lost it, and their intentions is to go to work every day, try to get money, but they keep kicking you down, like people are abusing you with the, yo, I sex your girl, bagging your girl from you, yo, you need to dump that dog, telling me right in front of my girl, all this stuff, they told me in front of my girl, and abusing me, I get kicked, stomped, covering glass, dudes done held my hand while I got beat up in the Bronx, and I'm innocent, I'm not starting no trouble or none of that. So they charged me with depraved indifference. And they never reversed it, but they don't have no jurisdiction. First of all, once the jury dismisses intent and you can never bring another murder charge back, that means you got a monopoly of the charges. And it's double jeopardy, and you're enhancing the possibility that I get convicted and indicted for murder, even after the fact that murder was dismissed. Also, the elements of intent, the district attorney, Miss Durcel Clark, the district attorney of the Bronx, who was the prosecutor on the case at the time, you know what I mean? Now, what happened is that, you know, they dismissed, the Durcel Clark, she, even though they dismissed murder, she went back into the grand jury, reopened it, said they had questions on the law, but it was another prosecutor who wasn't assigned to the case who reopened the grand jury. Now, the rule is that once a grand jury starts deliberating, and once the case is in a deliberating and vote process, no one could be in the presence of the grand jury while they voting. Not even the district attorney, no stenographer, none of that. The foreman of the jury it must take the notes at that point. Nobody could be in the presence. So they reopened the grand jury during the vote proceedings, said that they had questions on the law, but those questions that they had on the law and his answers to those questions was not recorded in the grand jury minute nor the grand jury notes. Now, the felony complaint only had a weapon charge, we got dismissed. Then it had it had a weapon charge, manslaughter in the first degree, which is a lesser degree charge. So they didn't want, the district attorney said she felt that I should be convicted of murder. I don't think I should be convicted of murder. Not when you cause me to snap and black out and lose it. I think that the victims in the crime should be able to sue the government. And I should be able to sue the government because the crack and all that, you abusing me, throwing me in jail for something that you didn't do, by you being unprofessional and not making sure you violated, the well-being and welfare of a child. By doing that, you caused this incident to happen, and you're getting away with that. I don't think so. Until they straighten that out, it's fuck America and fuck the Bronx, fuck New York, fuck y'all. Word up, all that shit all up into one big bad motherfucker. Fuck you. Yeah, boil that up and put that in the pipe, crack pipe too. And somebody get these people a crack pipe. Put that in the crack pipe and smoke that shit too. Now, the thing is, the district attorney argued the elements of intent at trial to convict me of a depraved indifference. There's no elements of intent in depraved indifference. You're going to argue another crime to convict me of another crime. That goes into the errors of uncharged crimes. You cannot use an uncharged crime that's not in an indictment. Whatever you try him with, elements of intent must be stated in an indictment, and they must go to the grand jury, and it got to be voted on by more jurors by 12 or more jurors, no less than 12 jurors. All have to simultaneously agree to indict me of intent. You did not have no jurisdiction. So, and when the jurisdictional issues don't have to be objected to be heard on appeal, because it violates, because it goes against the court proceedings and mode of the court prescribed by law. So, and the judge, once he know that there's a lack of jurisdiction, that they don't have no jurisdiction, he must stop all the proceedings and make a determination as to whether or not there's jurisdiction. And if there's no jurisdiction, he must dismiss the proceedings. But being black, being black, see the color? What color is that? That's black. And there's different type of flavors of black too. Like you got dark-skinned people from different parts of the world, like Africa. But that's neither here nor there. You got white people from different parts of the world. So now, but they still forced ahead. They have no jurisdiction. Where is my money? I want money. I am broke. Everybody doing what they want to do. And I can't do shit. And I did 31 years without subject matter jurisdiction. 31 years without subject matter jurisdiction. They didn't have no jurisdiction. They had a monopoly of charges, and that was a forced counterfeit charge. And it's a case where they tried to charge somebody on attempted manslaughter. It's no attempted manslaughter because it doesn't charge any crime at all. Because attempt has elements of intent. You cannot intend to kill somebody and the result was the death was done by accident. See, on manslaughter charge, they draw is a lesser degree of murder. Like if I punch somebody, boom, they died from that punch. I didn't intend to kill them. So they say they charge you with intent, inflicting serious physical injury, which resulted in the death of another person. That's like when you intend, like you might not intend it to kill that person, you just want to punch him or kick him or slap him. And you slap him and he dies. Then you be charged with manslaughter. But in intentional murder, you must charge the element of intent. And intent was dismissed at the grand jury. You cannot try me for murder again and bring back a counterfeit force murder charge such as depraved indifference. Like I said, if the police steal a gun out the locker or somebody uses that gun and kills somebody, that's a strict liability charge. The officer could be charged with murder even though he didn't pull a trigger and intend to kill anybody. See, that's the law. And people don't know the law, so they're going to just fuck me around. And fucking me around might cause the second round of me blacking out, snapping, and losing it. Because I'm definitely at that motherfucking point. Definitely at that motherfucking point. Word up. But you know what I'm saying? Lightning shouldn't strike twice. And a person shouldn't make the same mistake twice. And the government shouldn't fucking continue to abuse a person as an adult after abusing them as a child. For real, throwing a person in the fucking bullpen, that's not childhood abuse. with 30 motherfucking criminals, and he's a D'Agostino or a Burger King flipping motherfucker. I'm a hamburger flipping rapping motherfucker. Word. Stove top cleaning motherfucker. At the age of 14, working. Not selling you no drugs.